Welcome to our Shabbat service. We are beginning in our Siddurim and our prayer books on page 102 with Yom Zeh Yisrael. This day for Israel is light and joy.
Yom Zeh Yisrael, Ora v'simcha, Ora v'simcha, Shabbat menucha. Yom Zeh Yisrael, Ora v'simcha, Shabbat, Shabbat menucha, Shabbat, Shabbat menucha. Tzvita b'gudim b'ma'amat Sinai, Shabbat moadim lishmor b'chol shanai, ve'aroch lefanai, ma'aseh va'arucha, Shabbat, Shabbat menucha, Shabbat, Shabbat menucha. Yom Zeh Yisrael, Ora v'simcha, Ora v'simcha, Shabbat menucha. Yom Zeh Yisrael, Ora v'simcha, Shabbat, Shabbat menucha. Shabbat, Shabbat menucha. Chemdat halvavot le'uma shavura, Nefashot lechavot neshama yetzera, Lenefesh metzera yaseh anacha. Shabbat, Shabbat menucha. Shabbat, Shabbat menucha. Yom Zeh Yisrael, Ora v'simcha, Ora v'simcha, Shabbat menucha. Yom Zeh Yisrael, Ora v'simcha, Shabbat, Shabbat menucha. Shabbat, Shabbat menucha. Kidashta berachta oto mikol yamim, b'sheshet gelita melechet olamim, bo matzu agumim hashketu v'hitcha. Shabbat, Shabbat menucha. Shabbat, Shabbat menucha. Yom Zeh Yisrael, Ora v'simcha, Ora v'simcha, Shabbat menucha. Yom Zeh Yisrael, Ora v'simcha, Shabbat, Shabbat menucha. Shabbat, Shabbat menucha.
Shabbat Shalom, thank you for being with us. We are delighted that you are with us this Erev Shabbat. We are thrilled to see many of you relaxing in the garden, but also here with us enjoying both the sun and Shabbat together. We're going to continue. You can either go to the opposite page 103, or onto our Shabbat supplement, where you'll also find the words of Yaribon. And we're going to sing straight from Yaribon into our Shabbat Psalm, Psalm 97, and then make our way into Shabbat together.
Yaribon, Yaribon olam, ve'amaya antu malka, melech malchaya. Yaribon, Yaribon olam, ve'amaya antu malka, unto Malka, Melech Malchaya. Ya Ribbon Olam ve'Almaya, unto Malka, Melech Malchaya. Ovad gevutech v'tzimhaya, Shapir kodamach lahavaya. Ya Ribbon Olam ve'Almaya, unto Malka Melech Malchaya. Ovad gevutech v'tzimhaya, Shapir kodamach lahavaya. Ya Ribbon Olam ve'Almaya, unto Malka, Melech Malchaya. Ya Ribbon Olam ve'Almaya, unto Malka, Melech Malchaya. Shame'a v'tismach, Shame'a v'tismach, Zion, Zion. Shame'a v'tismach, Shame'a v'tismach, Zion, Zion. V'tagelna b'not Yehuda, v'tagelna b'not Yehuda. Shame'a v'tismach, Shame'a v'tismach, Zion, Zion. Shame'a v'tismach, Shame'a v'tismach, Zion, Zion. V'tagelna b'not Yehuda, v'tagelna b'not Yehuda. Zarua l'tzadik u'l'yishlev simcha. O Zarua l'tzadik u'l'yishlev simcha. O Zarua l'tzadik u'l'yishlev simcha. U'l'yishlev simcha. Zarua tzadik u'l'yishlev simcha, u'l'yishlev simcha. Ya Elai, 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 Ya Elai, Elai, Ya Elai, Elai, Ya Elai, Ya. P'nei Shabbat nekabela, boi chala, boi chala, boi chala, boi chala, boi chala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela, boi chala, boi chala, boi chala. L'chadori, l'chadori, l'katala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'chadori, l'chadori, l'katala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, בני שבת נקבלה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, בני שבת נקבלה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לחדוני, לחדוני לקראת כלה. בני שבת נקבלה. לחדוני, לחדוני לקראת כלה. בני שבת
We welcome the Shabbat in with the Shabbat candles. Feel free to join me with the blessing, which is on your supplement. And if you have candles, please do feel free to display them proudly in your Zoom windows so that we can share the light together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
We go back into our shul sheets with more Boi Chala before transitioning to page 121 in our prayer books for the full poem of Lecha Dodi.
בואי חלה, בואי חלה, בני שבת נקבלה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, בני שבת נקבלה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לחדוני, לחדוני לקראת כלה. בני שבת נקבלה. לחדוני, לחדוני לקראת כלה. בני שבת נקבלה. דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. שמעו וזכו בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, ושמו תפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם לסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך כולי אורי, אורי אורי שדברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגורה בואי חלה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה.
Come in peace, come in joy, tells us this last verse of Lecha Dodi. And yet we also know that there are many who come to Shabbat with heavy hearts, with hearts of sadness and mourning. And to those who are in mourning in our community, we say, may the ever-present comfort you, together with all those who mourn.
On page 124, let's sing together Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat.
Tov lehodot l'Adonai, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב להודות לאדוני, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון. יאי לי לי להגיד בבוקר, בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. להגיד בבוקר, בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. טוב להודות לאדוני, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב להודות לאדוני, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון. יאי לי לי להגיד בבוקר, בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. להגיד בבוקר, בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. טוב להודות לאדוני, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון. עלי אסור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בחינו, כי שמחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך ארנן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. איש בעל לא ידע, וכסיל לא יבין עצות. בפרח רשעים כמו עשב, ויציצו כל פועלי אבן, להישמדם עדי עד. ואתה מרום לעולם אדוני. כי הנה אויביך אדוני, כי הנה אויביך יאבדו, יתפרדו כל פועלי אבן. ותרם קרן קרני בלותי בשמן רענן, ותבט עיני בשורי, וקמים עלי מרעים, תשמענה אוזני. צדיק אתה מה יפרח, כהרף Chatzrot Eloheinu Yafrichu Od Yenuvun B'Seva D'Shenim V'Rananim Yiyu Lahagid Ki Adonai Tzurim Elo Avatabo.
Please rise with us for Baruch.
Ya Elai, 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 Ya Elai, 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 Ya Elai, 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 Ya Elai, 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 Ya Elai, Elai, Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Ya Elai, Elai, Ya Elai, Elai, Ya Elai, 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 Ya Elai, Elai, Ya Elai, Elai, Ya Elai, Elai, Ya Elai.
Blessed are you, our God and Creator, sovereign of the universe, whose word brings on evening twilight, who opens the gates of dawn with wisdom, and with foresight makes times pass and seasons change. Your plan sets the stars in their courses in the sky, creating day and night, turning light into darkness and darkness into light. You make the day fade away and bring on the night, separating day and night. You are the ruler of the hosts of heaven. Blessed are you, God, who brings on the evening twilight. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadata. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, b'shochbeinu u'v'kumenu nasiach b'chukecha. V'nizmach v'na'aloz b'divrei Toratecha, u'mitzvotecha v'chukotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu, uvehem negeh yomam v'layla. V'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch ata Adonai, ohev et amor Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף פתיל תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית, וריתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
We're on page 135. אמת ואמונה כל זאת וקיים עלינו, כי הוא אדוני אלוהינו ואין זולתו, ואנחנו ישראל עמו, העושה גדולות עד אין חקר, ונפלאות עד אין מספר. וראו בניו גבורתו, שיבחו והודו לשמו, ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם. משה ומרים ובני ישראל, לך אנו שירה בשמחה רבה, ואמרו כולם. Yai lai lai la lai ya la 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 lai yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai ya lai la lai la lai ya la 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 lai yai la lai la lai la 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 lai mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha neda b'kodesh nora tehilot osef ele nora tehilot osef ele malchutecha Adonai Eloheinu ra'uva lecha raya yachad kulam hodu v'himlichu v'amru ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל Yisrael. You may not have been expecting to see Rabbi Elliot and me again this Friday night. You may have been expecting to see our colleagues, Rabbi Hannah and Kanza Tamara. But there is a reason that they are not here, and we're going to hand over to Rabbi Hannah, who is going to take up the story from home.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. On Thursday morning, a notification appeared on my phone saying, "You are at risk of spreading coronavirus and should stay home. Please self-isolate for the full period advised by your isolation countdown tracker to protect others." As I opened the app, a glaring red circle flashed in front of me. I will be free in 7 days. I would love to be on the bimah with my A-list colleagues this week at this service that feels momentous in the scheme of the past 18 months. But instead, I am at home, keeping my colleagues and my community, my A-list family, safe. As the world reopens, we have been informed that it is now the people's responsibility to make their own informed decisions about how to manage the virus. With each interaction that we have comes responsibility. In a world of endemic, we know that no action comes without risk, that each unmasked face-to-face conversation or elbow bump brings with it a potential of 10 days isolation. In this time of uncertainty, we must take on the continued obligation to be a source of protection for one another. As Rabbi Josh wrote last week, as the world reopens, it is important for each of us to think not only of our own needs or comfort levels, but also of others. For the large numbers of immunosuppressed, those not yet vaccinated, and those for whom the vaccine will not work, the impending relaxing restrictions do not bring feelings of joy, but fear of an increasing threat to life. Over the past year, we have repeated the phrase, Kol Yisrael Aravim Zeh Bazeh. We are all responsible for one another. We know that the ways in which we choose to act over the coming weeks will have direct implications on the lives of others. But perhaps even more importantly, we need to carry with us the phrase, Uksha'ani la'atzmi ma'ani. Translated by Rabbi Josh last Shabbat is, when I am for me, what am I? When we put our own needs at the forefront, above those of others, what are we? With that in mind, despite my double vaccination, my 4 days worth of negative lateral flow tests, and my overall feeling of wellness, the discomfort of isolation is minimal compared to the threat I could potentially have on those around me. As the world and our building reopens, we must act for the sake of Pekuach Nefesh, keeping the lives of others safe, knowing that our wants are not more important than others' needs. We must look beyond ourselves and our desires to journey together. As we turn to the words of the Hashkivenu, reciting it together for the last time before we enter a world unbound by government guidelines, we continue to pledge to keep one another safe. We prepare ourselves to face moments of discomfort, of isolation, of putting the other before ourselves, knowing that the virus is still a reality and that we and those around us are not invincible. We look to God for a shelter of safety and vow to be that for one another, allowing all to move forward in their own way and at their own pace, so that one day we may all rise again to enjoy life. I hand back to Rabbi Josh and Rabbi Elliot to lead us in Hashkivenu from the Beit Tefillah.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim, Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ushmot tzedzeinu, uvoeinu, l'chaim l'shalom, me'ata ve'ad olam. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu
Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom,
v'hamidenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu
Adonai, Eloheinu
l'chaim, Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu
Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu
Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu
Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu l'chaim.
Let's read together on page 136. Source of our life and our sovereign, cause us to lie down in peace and rise again to enjoy life. Spread over us the covering of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel and save us for the sake of your name. Be a shield about us, turning away every enemy, disease, violence, hunger, and sorrow. Remove the temptation that awaits us and the guilt that lies behind us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you are a God who guards and protects us, a ruler of mercy and compassion. Guard us when we go out and when we come in, to enjoy life and peace both now and forever, and spread over us the shelter of your peace. Blessed are you, God, spreading the shelter of peace over us, over your people Israel, and over all the world. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. We invite you to rise for the evening Amidah. We're on page 141. For this evening, we are going to sing our way in, and then we're just going to have some time for everyone to daven for yourselves, to listen to the birds if you're in your gardens, just to be with yourselves. And then we'll come together at the very end of the Amidah for Yehiyu L'Ratzon and sing our way out before we turn to the Aleinu. Lai 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 lai, lai 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 lai. Lai 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 lai, lai 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 lai. Adonai, sefatai tifta, ufi agi, tehilatecha. Adonai, Savatai tiftar Ufiagi Tehilatecha. Ratzon Imrefi V'hegyon libi Lefanecha Adonai Suri V'goali Oseh Shalom Bimroma Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'al Kol Ha'olam Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 As we move towards the conclusion of our service, we invite everyone to rise on page 310 if you feel able for Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה יוצא בראשית, אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים, ונתן לנו את תורתו, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. On page 313. על כן נקווה לך, אדוני אלוהינו, לראות מהרה בתפארת עוזך, להעביר גילולים מן הארץ, והאלילים קרות שכרתון, לתקן עולם במלכות שדי, וכל בני בשר יקראו בשמך, להפנות אליך כל יושבי ארץ, יכירו וידעו כל יושבי תבל, כי שותפים כולנו בתיקון עולמך, כי המלכות שלך היא, ולעולמי עד ותמלוך בכבוד. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We turn together to page 316 and prepare to sanctify the name of God with the words of the Mourner's Kaddish. As we do so, we regret to announce the death of Ruth Smilg, of Jeremy's mother. We pray that God will be a source of comfort to all who mourn for her. We join with all of those in the period since the loss of a loved one, and together with those marking Yahrzeit, remember those for whom this is the anniversary of their death. Together we remember Barbara Alterman, Tibor Baneth, Lela Black, Lillian Bogod, Jan Bowman, Ted Esterman, Edita Fine, Billy Friedman, Elsa Gutman, Henry Harris, Frida Jacobs, Peter Klein, Roy Langsford, Aaron Lederman, Amelia Lee, Joseph Leslie, Jesse Lewin, David Manson, Michael Michaels, Anthony Oberman, Joel Pinto, Beata Polonsky, Jeffrey Simmons, David Tham, Raymond Van Dyke, Ita Weiner, and Leslie Winton. Zichanam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. I invite all of those who come to this Shabbat in mourning to join with me as I recite the words of the Mourner's Kaddish on page 316. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ba'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dichol beit Yisrael. B'agala v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen.
Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'a v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitada v'yitalei v'yitalal. Shemei de Kudsha Brichu.
Le'ela min kol bechata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, diamiran ba'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Osei shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol ha'olam, v'imru, Amen. According to Jewish tradition, the number 70 has a number of different significances. According to the rabbis, there are 70 nations and 70 languages. 70 members of Jacob's household went down to Egypt. There are 70 faces of Torah. The Torah lists 70 different holy days on which we rest. According to the rabbis, there are 70 divine names. And the psalmist tells us 70 is the full years of a person's life. Today we mark a new 70. 70 weeks of Erev Shabbat services in a room without members in it. And it is appropriate that we will stop at 70. Because from next week we will be opening this space again on Erev Shabbat. It will be possible once again to be together in here. Now, it will not return to normal. We will not be going back to 320, 400 people in here on a Friday night quickly. Reflecting our core values, that which we have brought into this whole experience, that real commitment to the care of one another of which Rabbi Hannah spoke. Reflecting that there will be a range of risk mitigations, social distancing, a cap on the number of people able to come, and the wearing of masks. We have done everything we can to make this space as good with regard to ventilation as possible. And we also know that this is not going to include everybody, and that is a source of pain, but also a source of responsibility and obligation. And so as we recognize that it will not be possible for many to join us, we also will do everything and have done everything we can to make sure that when we come together next week and for Friday nights in the next few weeks, we will be able to be a community across our homes and into this building. We ask a number of things of you. The first thing we ask of you is that if you do come, you come knowing what you are getting into and having committed to sign what we are calling our covenant of responsibility, asking you to understand the rules of coming into this space. But also we ask you to really think about whether you feel comfortable coming, and if not, not to come. And especially if you are ill in any way, to make sure that you do not bring that into this space, as Rabbi Hannah spoke about so powerfully before Hashkivenu. Now, one of the things that will make it possible for us to be a community together is that from home, you will be able to be seen on screens around this space, but also you will be able to see the community in prayer as well. So, with the miracle of technology, I'm going to click my fingers, and we are going to see there you go. We are going to see the Beit Tefillah as it is laid out. Sam is going to, I hope, spotlight that for everyone to see. That is Aleph. It has been empty like that and not like that for 70 Friday nights. And next week it will have people in it. I do want to just point out a few things so that you can see what we mean. The first is that is 100 chairs laid out. I know it looks full. It looks full because we have laid them out in a very spaced out way to make sure that it feels safe to be here. But that is 100 chairs, which is about a third of what we would normally have in here on a Friday night.
The other thing you'll see is that at the back of the synagogue, there are no stained glass windows. In order that we have ventilation in this space, those windows have been taken down very carefully, and they have been stored even more carefully and will allow us to open the windows at the back there, as well as all of the doors. And the other thing you'll be able to see is a screen, one of many screens around the Beit Tefillah, which will allow people at home to see and be seen by those in their community. It is with excitement and also with great anxiety that we prepare to welcome some of you back into this Beit Tefillah. It is time. 70 weeks, according to our tradition, is a full length of time. And it is time for us to come back together in this new way of being together as a community here and at home together. If you want to join us, if you feel comfortable joining us, and I acknowledge if you are able to join us, then please do sign up using the sign-up sheet that you can link from the email that was sent earlier today. We look forward to this new way of being community together, for it is good for us to be together, brothers and sisters sitting together. We're on our shul sheets. Hinei matzov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. 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 How good it is, how good it is, how sweet it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how good it is, how sweet it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hinei matzov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. Hinei matzov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. How good it is, how good it is, how sweet it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how good it is, how sweet it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hinei matzov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. Hinei matzov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. Please do join with us. We're on page 452 as we make Kiddush together. Vayechulu hashamayim va'aretz v'chol tzva'am, vayechal Elohim bayom hashvi'i malachto asher asa, vayishpot bayom hashvi'i mikom malachto asher asa, vayevarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vaykadesh oto, ki vo shevat mikom malachto asher bara Elohim la'asot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam
Borei Peri Hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavahanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava v'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila l'mikrei kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, Kivanu v'chata, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, b'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu, baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha'shabbat.
Amen.
Chaim.
As well as our developments for next week, we also have things that are a bit closer over this weekend. Firstly, at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning will be the bar mitzvah at 9 o'clock of Josh Jungbacher. We wish Mazel Tov to him and his family as he comes to read Torah with his community for the first time. And then following that, you can join me at 10:30 here in the Beit Tefillah for a regular Shabbat morning service. And can everyone people join the other service as well?
It's not online.
Okay, sorry. And then in the evening,
No, you can do it.
in the evening we have our Tisha B'Av evening service with Kanta Tamara, which will be online. And then following that in the Sunday morning, we have our Tisha B'Av Shacharit service. I think there are still a few spaces available if you want to sign up to join us in person, but that will also be streamed on Zoom, so feel free to join us online for that.
And we wish you Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for being with us. Thank you, Elliot, for reminding us. And we're going to unmute everyone so that you can wish one another Shabbat Shalom from us. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.